Alright, just want to do a quick video. A couple things have been like going through my mind as I get back on YouTube and putting content out. So I've been running an experiment in terms of like, you know, my hiatus from putting up videos and things like that, which hasn't really been that long, but I've been running a couple things on my end to change the way I do my business and to move to a point of or move to a place of I guess you would say farming certain things out, delegating, and move on and transition to another business. Because right now, you know, I have MJ Network Solutions, and that's the computer consulting company, my first company. I've had other companies since then, and but they haven't really done anything. And now the salon, which is up and running, and that was a year project to get done, or to get completed to where we opened, and then now it's been over a year since we've been open, so it's like 2 years of working on that and putting money towards it, as well as still even working my night job. So it's like, all right, cool, I've had all these things, I've done all these things in that time. Now it's like, now I want to move on to the next thing. Looking to do a couple things, even in clothing, possibly. Bought a domain, put up a little quick website, and just, you know, we'll see what happens. But I don't think I'll do much with that right now. It'll be an eventuality, really. So what I'm doing or have been doing is delegating work, trying to get as much off of me so I can actually free up my time. And one of the ultimate things for me to free up my time, and the choice that I've made recently, as I said before, is to quit my night job and then go full-time in my businesses so I can have more time for development and other things. And I've taken this weekend off to like think more about it and kind of game plan and really kind of just relax and rest my mind, even if it's just like not even really putting anything to paper and just saying, you know, fuck it, I want to lay down and watch cartoons, you know? So I'm just taking this weekend to do that. But one thing that's worked out, and really to the point of this video, is delegating work. So I had to give the backstory, because what you have to do if you want to scale or get larger, and I'll use one of my customers as an example. Customer coming online, and they have 3 partners, or 3 partners that I know about, but 3 heads of the company, really. One guy deals with more of the mortgage stuff, another guy deals with finances and a little bit more tech, so on and so forth, and one guy deals with tech, but mostly on like the sales side, and that's kind of his deal, is to do sales. With him, the sales guy, he was handling some of the tech stuff, ordering laptops, computers, and stuff like that. But now with me on board, in terms of as their outside computer consultant, now they're like, okay, well, Mike, we want to give everything to you. We just want to just, boom, this is it. We say this, and then it happens. And this was kind of along the lines of, I don't know if I explained it to you guys, but this customer went ahead and, yeah, I did. And they gave me a card and everything like that. And I just got the physical card today, which is really cool. And I was just like, holy crap, this is a really nice card and all this other stuff. Or cool concept. The card wasn't anything special. So now they've delegated the delegation to me. So now I have to just make sure they say whatever, they say how high in a sense, and I jump, you know, like, so it's like, all right, Mike, we need 2 monitors, boom, order 2 monitors, we need 2 new workstations. So 2 new workstations come with this, this, and this is what they expect in terms of their pods and so on and so forth. Now, how does that really affect me and how I've been doing it? I've been doing it in ways in terms of the salon. So like my business partner, Renaud, I've said, hey, listen, you know, Renaud, hey, can you go ahead and take over this painting project, because I really can't do much of it anymore, and I really am out of time, and I'm running all the other stuff at the salon. Can you handle that portion of operations? And it's something that doesn't require him to be there during the day, or as I like to call prime time, which is your daytime hours between your 8 to 6 o'clock, right? So I need my prime time hours, and I also need my off time hours, my non-peak hours, which is the nighttime, my night owl hours. Like right now, it's 3:57 a.m. on Saturday morning, and I'm heading to a customer site. But before this, I was at home just resting and then just doing a couple things and thinking through some stuff and really kind of just existing and not really doing much of anything in terms of being quote unquote productive. So I was resting and relaxing, and then while that was getting done though, usually from at 11 I pick up my my assistant, or not my assistant, but the person that helps me clean the floors, and my worker, if you will. And young guy, just graduated high school in May, you know. With him, he was actually pretty close to the salon. He was like, yeah, I'm 8 minutes away from the salon. So there's no point in really like going to pick him up in a sense and then drop him off at the salon and then wait for him there. He was able to go ahead, do the work. I was able to rest and relax, or I could have done work in that period of time. I just did some more thinking and I laid down, read some articles. So I had that time and I was freed up, and it was really nice to actually have that time. And that's kind of what I'm like getting at, is like, okay, if you want to scale, you have to give yourself more time. And to give yourself more time, you're going to have to let go of certain things. I started the process of me letting go of a lot of daily tasks, or just saying, hey, listen, you know, I can't fix everything. I can't do everything, so on and so forth. Just let some things go and let other people do them in my organizations that I've created. And if you really want to scale, what you're going to have to do is just let go. And a part of letting go is delegating the task. But of course, during the period of delegation, or before the period of delegation, or before you get to that point, you have to have a period where you're actually going and working with people to say, all right, doing training, to making sure that they are in the right mindset, that they're doing what they're supposed to and doing it the way that you would like them to do it. And that's a pretty big deal, and you want to make sure that that time is not really not rushed too much, because the only way you can scale and grow your business the way you want and grow your business to the level you want, or at the speed in which you want, is that you have to have proper training, and you have to have procedures in place, procedures that you actually adhere to as well, and then you actually expect others to adhere to. So for instance, the same customer, they're like, hey, listen, we're getting 2 more people here, we're getting 5 more people tomorrow, we're getting this many people. And it's like, bro, you're growing really fucking fast. But at the same time, the same customer said to me, or one of the partners said to me, listen, man, I sold half my life to make this happen. I just want to make sure you guys can keep up. Like, he doesn't even have to say that, but he likes us, you know, as a consulting company and everything like that. And he wants to see us like work with him. And he likes, you know, he likes me and, you know, the vibe and everything like that. And we've delivered. But at the same time, like, he's put a lot into the game, and he's not going to bullshit and say things like, you know, well, yeah, Mike, just get to it when you can. No, fuck that. You need to hurry up, get this shit done. And I need it by X, Y, and Z. You know, so that's pretty important to like people. And that's one thing you have to deal with even when you're delegating things, because he's delegating this work to me. And a part of what he's doing, or part of what he's doing in terms of delegation, is making sure that I'm doing things the way he wants them, and that I can actually deliver everything the way he wants them. Meaning, you know, there's no problems, there's communication is there, we're on board with this and that, and things will be delivered in certain periods of time or in certain time frames. So if you want to scale, and I'll just summarize this a little bit, but if you want to scale and get to a point where you're at a higher level and you're able to step away from certain things so you can go on to other businesses or go on to other things within your same business and improve certain departments, certain areas, certain certain deficiencies, if you will, then you're going to have to put certain things in place, procedures, policies. You're going to have to delegate the work to the right people, train the right people, or make sure that the right people come trained already, and that you have these, I guess, intellectual assets, if you will. And when necessary, you activate those intellectual assets, and all they do is they go out and do the work for you. You give them everything that they need in terms of money, such as a credit card or what have you, and you say, hey, listen, these are what the things that that we want. Also, I want you to understand that these things are not set in stone. We can change them up over time, and I want you to work with us on that. And essentially, that's what my customer did. And that's the same things that I'm doing in my business that I've noticed, where I'm like, okay, well, if I want to make this scale, if I want to make certain things happen, I'm going to have to reclaim some of my time. But I'm also going to have to put people in, or put certain people in place, so that I can actually do this comfortably and then not have to worry about it too much. Or if I have to make up for somebody, then it's like, oh, okay, no problem. You're out of here, or you're out doing this other thing, and then I can go over and take over for you and, go right back into it, and everything's done the way I expected. So that's one thing I wanted to come to you with. I know there's a lot of backstory before I got to the point, and that's just how I am. I talk a lot. But I want you to understand all these things that I'm saying, because this is how I've actually had to deal with it in terms of my businesses and growing and doing is something as simple as saying, hey, in the next 3 to 5 years, or in the next 5 years, I want to start 3 new businesses. And knowing how daunting, cumbersome, and tedious, and how meticulous you have to be for those things to make them all work, and then actually putting all that information out, or putting that thought process out there, and being able to motivate yourself to make it happen. And then for you to actually do that many companies, and for instance, if I do that and I have 3 companies within the next 5 years, and then still have the 2, then that's 5 companies. It's like, that's a lot. And you have different employees and different products and services and customers, vendors that you all have to deal with on a regular basis. And you're going to have to reclaim time. And part of the way to reclaim time is to train people and put certain people in place so that you can actually make all of that happen. So I definitely want people to understand that, and that's the experience that I'm going through. And if you want to scale, at some point when you feel it's right, and some people never do, but when you feel it's right and you're looking at certain things, assess where you are and where you want to be, see how far and what it would take for you to get there, and then say things like, oh, okay, I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do this anymore, I want to move on to this. All right, transition. Don't just drop it. Don't just go ahead into the next thing, because you might actually cause a disruption on another portion of your business, or in whole nother business itself, and that could cause a serious problem. And what you need to do is plan accordingly to transition into, oh, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to do it, and these are the places where I'm going to have to get someone else to take over that type of work. Let me start making accommodations for that, whether it be I have to take out this much money over here. Do I have enough money to actually make that happen, to have somebody else work for me? Do I have the time to train them, so on and so forth? And then also the valuation of all that, because it's like you're going to have to make that time to actually for that to happen. So if you want to scale, think about these things, and try your best to complete them. And if you don't, then you might have an issue. So you're gonna have to think about that bridge when you cross it, and hopefully it's gonna be sturdy enough to handle everything that you actually have in your brain there. All right, as always, thank you for listening.